I'm only going to say this about insurance. I bought my insurance from my car insurance salesperson. And they had no idea what risk I had. And my brother called me and he says, oh, they stole the plywood. And then he called me back and they actually brought out dual-wheel trucks and had a forklift and was lifting stacks of plywood off of my jobs. And do you know it wasn't covered? And when I finally went to someone who knew about contractor insurance, I can remember to this day what the premium was for the entire year, $267. For an additional $267 a year, I could have had that $4,000 worth of plywood covered. But I didn't go to somebody who knew my business. Now, when I'm on somebody else's property, I'm liable, so I better get some liability insurance. When I have equipment out on the roadway, it better be commercial coverage insurance. If I'm afraid of losing equipment and things like that, I better sit down and talk to my insurance person to make sure I have equipment floaters. Equipment floaters float with my equipment. So when I've got my equipment on this job and then I move it over to this job, it's covered there, it's covered while it's being transported, and it's covered over here. Because when you lose $2,000, $5,000 piece of equipment, I've had mortar mixers, concrete pumps, power trialing machines. It's amazing those things can walk. So you got to have some coverages. And you better go with somebody who knows what they're doing. Do not get caught on someone else's property and cause damage to that property without having liability insurance. There are a whole bunch of other things that we could cover about that. I'm just going to skip over until we get to that class. But you know,